Hi, I'm Art Merriweather. I'm an audio engineer, and this is Art Detroit.
I'm home, you're home in Detroit City. There's no place like home. Just tell me what you need. It's all right here in Detroit. Don't matter what it is, it's all right here. Oh.
This is the peaceful part of the day. What's here at Chene Park, basically my role is I get everything set up for the engineers that come in, the guest engineers. So that's what I'm doing right now, getting everything plugged up and good to go. And if an artist comes in and they don't have an engineer, I'll mix them. Audio engineering is an art. Not everyone can do it. And I've had many musicians tell me that I was a good engineer because I was a musician, where I knew what the music was supposed to sound like from a musician standpoint. So it's not so much, it is technical, but it's a balance of having the technical ability and having a creative ear and putting it together, and making sure it sounds good. That's what a sound engineer does. We're taking what the artist is doing on stage. You know, you have a drummer that's playing, you have a bass player that's playing, they're all playing together, but from a sonic standpoint, we make sure from a sonic standpoint, it all comes together so that the audience can understand it. Just laying it down, yep, to the lip. Now from a technical standpoint, you're an engineer, your job is to fix things. And that's what we do. We go in, if there's a problem, you fix it. You know, the higher up you get paid, it hits a point where the only thing that you can offer is solutions. Alley hoop. That one bad. So we drop power in. These are the drive lines which feeds the PA, and these are the lines that return to the console from the stage that we'll end up mixing. So right now, this is a multi-port connector. And then I have a fan out. See, this is the glamorous part of audio. It's the wonderful part. Everyone thinks, yeah, I get a chance to, you know, handle the machine with all the lights on it. Nah, champ. Nope.
You gotta do a lot more to lead
You
up
gotta
to
make
that.
sure, that's the easy part. It's everything in front of the console that folks have to learn.
I didn't know that there was more to, like, that you were so heavily involved with the setup of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me about you seem definitely enthusiastic and passionate about what you do. So what even sparked your interest to get involved in this?
I fell into this by mistake. No, when I was in college, I was initially going to college for electrical engineering. I took physics 2, and I called home and told my dad, there is no way I'm dedicating my life to electrical engineering. And I've been playing musical instruments since I was 7. And I was in a hip hop band, and the drummer said, Art, you're an engineer? You should check out the sound engineering program. And I'm like, nah, sound engineering, that don't even make sense. That don't even sound right. So I finally, after thinking I wanted to be a math teacher fell through, I went and checked out the sound engineering program and went, whoa, this is actually kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna look at going into sound engineering. But I only went to sound engineering so that I could become a better producer. All of my friends knew how to play instruments. They were all very good, fantastic singers, fantastic producers. No one knew how to record. And I just tell folks I got too close to the water and been doing it since.
What are you doing now with these cords?
I am patching in the outputs to the actual PA. So right now, these feeds will go to left, right, subs, you have outfields, and the lip downstage. And then we have a feed actually for the folks who are in their boats that pull up as well. So there's a separate feed that goes to each individual zone.
Tell me about one of your most memorable experiences as a sound engineer.
On tour, Fox Theater, Mayor Hawthorne, Where's This Door Go headline tour. That was one of my greatest moments mixing. It was a great show, sold out, The audience was enjoying it. I'm mixing. I look over, I see Mayor's manager dancing. He's into it. It was great venue, great show. These are the actual inputs. So I routed the outputs that are going to the PA. Now I'm getting the channels from the stage to run to here.
Gotcha.
So always input, output, input, output, input,
That
output.
sounds so complicated, but you're doing it like almost,
This is clockwork.
Just, yeah.
This I could do in my sleep.
yeah.
Worst things of touring, I hate flying. I'll say it multiple times, I
Why?
hate flying. I'm not necessarily a neat freak, but man, you gotta have some type of home training. Everyone's like a home training is just jammed into one area. If they ever invent a teleportation device,
You'll do it.
oh, I'm in. I'm in. So when I'm on a flight, I'm like, all right, just deal with it. They're paying you. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just get this thing over with. And it's the international ones, the local
long
ones.
haul, yeah.
Like I'm doing a show in New York or Chicago, all right, whatever. All the acts that I wanted to, that I admired as a kid, it's crazy. Like I remember when Crazy came out. And then all of a sudden now, I'm in McDonald's eating a fish fillet with CeeLo. We just sitting there chilling.
How did that collaboration come about? How did you meet him or meet his team to be brought on board?
A friend of mine was saying, hey, look, do you want to mix CeeLo? And I said, all right, cool, yeah, I'm down. I'll mix Lo. And he liked the way that I mix. I got a call, hey, Lo's got a show at the Palace doing a halftime show. We're in your neck of the woods. Come on through, see how it works out. Came through, worked out well, and I've been with Lo now for November will be 3 years.
Do you still kind of have that, like, oh man, I used to, listen to them as a kid, and here I am on their team?
I did a show where Lo did a show with Big Boy.
Oh.
So I'm out at front house, and I'm mixing Bombs Over Bad Dad. And I'm like, yo, this is dope. But Big Boy could be a little bit louder. I can control that.
I can do that.
One
And you're
of the-
just like,
I kept that set list. I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like,
Nice.
that was dope. It's always an energy thing.
Yeah.
And the great artists are able to pull out instead of just absorbing from.
Right.
This is exactly what I do. I hit Jefferson and I drive straight down. This is literally where I clear my head.
I would imagine in this field, you do the majority of your learning hands-on.
All of your learning is hands-on. You can read about it, but until
Yeah.
you touch it, until you listen, the cat who taught me, the first thing he told me was, we're gonna get your ears straight. He didn't speak on anything about compressors and any of the technical side of it. I wanna make sure you know how to hear. If you know how to hear, then you'll find out how to create what you're listening for. If you don't know how to identify it, you're just pushing faders and turning knobs with no purpose. So you need to learn what a good mix sounds like. Then once you learn that, now you'll start to emulate it. You learn how to mix, you're emulating the music that you listen to. There is a general accepted sort of standard. You can put together a solid mix that'll get you 70% there. And then the extra 30 is based on whatever artist you're working with. As soon as we get past that point there, boom, water.
Yeah.
This was it.
Sure, this is Grosse Pointe
This
now.
is Grosse Pointe.
This is like breathtaking.
Yup, this was my...
And we're so close to the shoreline. That's what's crazy.
Mhm. So I'm saying end game is to stay off the water. That's my end game.
What are some of the main reasons that you wanted to come back to Detroit and actually buy here?
Oh, I'm from Detroit. The city is only as good as the people that are in it. And I thought, you know what? I can be a contributing member to society in Detroit. We need more people who are invested in Detroit and have a means to invest in Detroit. I always say, I left Detroit as a renter and I came back as an owner.
Me
So,
too.
Yeah, even looking at what I do, further on in life, still, it's like, nah, man, I can't leave the city. I can't leave the city because so many people have. Nah, I'm a Detroiter through and through.
What does it mean to you to work all over the world and then to come back home and regularly still, sound engineer and mix things here in Detroit?
You know what? And that's the thing, that I tell a lot of, folks who are just starting. Whoever's behind that microphone is your star for the day. So it doesn't matter if they're a local act, if they're, national, international, it don't matter. That day, whoever's behind that microphone, that's your star. And you have to treat them as such. And there's so much talent here to be able to see all that, to say, look, there's a lot of Detroiters still doing things, and are extremely successful. And, it doesn't have to be, the Big Seans and the Eminems of the world. There's a whole lot of other artists who are amazing. And you just hope that, Detroiters get a chance to see that.
Sure. What are a couple of the other things that really stand out to you that you learned along the way that have helped you be a better sound engineer?
Humility. So don't ever think that you're the best at anything.
There's always someone better.
There's
as good
always
as you are,
someone
there's
better.
always someone better.
And when someone is better, let them know. Like, folks still need to hear, a lot of times, when you're in the engineer, your job is to make the show sound good, period, So if the show sounds great, yeah, cool. When the show does sound good, no one says anything. Let them know it. Let them know it. That, and the guy who taught me, once again, another nugget he taught me was, I told him, look, I can never repay you for this. He said, you know what? This is how you repay me. Teach the next person and charge them the same amount that I charged you. And I went, wow. And everybody that I know who's good, who's great at this,
Has echoed that.
they've echoed that.
I'm home, you're home in Detroit City. There's no place like home. Just tell me what you need. It's all right here.